Welcome to Imperium Podcast. We are your guide into the exciting world of entrepreneurship in one of the UK's most exciting and busy sectors, construction. Join us as we explore the inspiring stories of entrepreneurs and creators who are not only changing the city skylines, but also shaping how the businesses thrive. I'm Kamal Farid, your host for today's podcast, owner and founder of a group UK based companies in the sector of engineering, construction, and property developments. My guest here is Amish, the founder of GRM Partners. Amish has transformed his career from being a QS charter surveyor into the founder of GRM Partners, one of the UK's most leading companies into reducing the carbon footprint into the social market, into the housing market.
Yeah.
Hi, Amish.
Hello, Kamal. Thank
Uh,
you for the invite.
it's our pleasure for you to join us.
Thank you.
So, Amish, first of all, I'd like to introduce you to our guests.
Okay.
So, can you just please give us a very quick brief about what is GRM Partners and how are you helping the housing market in the UK?
So, a quick synopsis about GRM Partners. We started GRM Partners in my flat.
Okay.
Me and my business partner, we started GRM Partners in my flat.
How long ago was that?
It's been a few years now. And what GRM Partners do, it's a multidisciplinary building and energy consultancy company.
Okay.
And it its primary key sector of the work is to manage obligations for energy suppliers throughout the nationwide,
Okay.
as well as decarbonize the housing stock of United Kingdom.
Okay.
And we got different
So, you mean that you are working across nationwide,
yes,
across the country? Okay.
nationwide, all the way from Scotland to Penzance,
Okay.
Cornwall, right?
Okay.
And so we got multiple different ventures to where we can assist United Kingdom, whether it's a energy related consultancy, building consultancy, or deliver projects, deliver frameworks, and we are just stepping into manufacturing solar panels as well.
Wow.
We are
Is that here or abroad?
so the manufacturing unit is overseas, but the market the the primary market is based in United Kingdom. We are producing solar panels and solar panels essentials like the what do you say your fittings, brackets, extra whatever you require to install solar panels, solar farms. So we are producing solar panels overseas, and we will enter United Kingdom market in the next 3 to 6 months.
Exciting.
Very exciting. So yeah, that's a quick brief about
And
what we
would that
do.
be still done under GRM or that be
Yes. So the vision for GRM is not just like when we started GRM Partners, I was working as a subcontractor to different what you say housing consultancies and local councils, and same for my business partner Mohammed. He was doing the same, and so when we started GRM Partners, we didn't think to like what would be the vision would be, but yeah, but as years pass now, if I look back, I would say, yeah, it will be under GRM Partners.
Mhm.
The ideology is to create a group of companies in the similar niche, but
of decarbonizing the housing
decarbonization
market?
exactly. It can be
How important is decarbonizing the housing market is at the moment, and how is it serious?
so
How
so
serious?
so it's quite serious because United Kingdom, uh, they in 2004 2005 they signed a treaty with European Union to reduce the carbon footprint from United Kingdom X amount by X amount of years, right? So the it's net zero by 2050.
Hmm.
We are still what 26 years in.
And you think it's possible?
Mm, it depends. It depends by I mean because to claim if I think it's possible to reduce a nation with zero carbon, net zero carbon,
It's challenging.
it's very challenging because the 70% of the carbon emits from dwellings, whether it's domestic properties or it's commercial buildings, right? And out of those 70%, 30% are businesses, are commercial properties, and the rest is domestic housing dwellings.
Mm.
And
But do you think the UK government is actually doing enough schemes and enough grants to enable businesses to be 0% carbon emissions? Because I'm a business, and I think it is a big expense on the business to start adding solar panels
mhm,
to our offices, to start changing all installations, to change the type of air conditions we have,
yeah.
all of this. Do you think the government is giving enough grants?
So, for example, it's a very valid and fair point, Kamal, as we both are business owners. So, I know, I mean, in terms of, let's segregate this by businesses, commercial premises, that's part A. Then you got your housing, which is your part B, which is the private housings, social housing. And so, in terms of commercial businesses, what government says and what they, in terms of, I would say, to providing assistance to businesses to reduce their carbon footprint, there is very, very, very minimal funding or minimal assistance provided by the United Kingdom government
Mhm,
for business to reduce the carbon footprint, basically.
mhm.
But if you compare from countries in Europe, in,
Which is number one? Which country is number
let's
one?
say, for example, we can go to Scandinavia, Norway, right? The Norway is a quite smaller country compared to United Kingdom, and but there's a lot of different schemes and assistance for businesses as well as the homeowners, landlords, and tenants
Mhm.
to how they assist the housing market, the even the housing market or the businesses, commercial properties.
Can you let me know more about the scheme? Because I'm sure we have a lot of listeners
Mm-hmm.
that will be very interested into introducing the carbon footprint that their dwellings produce,
Yeah,
and maybe they don't know how to do this and what are the benefits of doing this.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of currently we are in an ongoing phase of a scheme called energy company obligation.
Mhm.
We are in the fourth paradigm of the scheme, which is Eco 4, and they tend to spend nearly 4.5 billion pounds in 4 years.
So 1.1 billion approximately a year.
Yeah, 1.1 billion a year, and they have
And is that only for residential properties?
yes, only for the residential. It can be either owner occupied properties or it can be either privately rented properties. It can be either social housing, socially rented properties.
So for a private rented properties, for example, because
Yeah,
this is a very big market,
yeah, yeah, it does.
as a tenant,
Yeah.
how do they uh, apply for the scheme?
So see, for example, the tenant is living in a property which is privately rented to them, right?
Yes.
And to meet the criteria for the scheme to reduce their carbon emission and impact their annual bill savings or a lifetime bill savings, we can say. So to apply that, there's a various grants under the scheme. Basically, the first of all, they need to meet criteria, which is HCRO obligation, uh, home ha- home heating cost reduction obligation. So the whole scheme, 70% of the obligation is home heating cost reduction obligation.
Mhm.
That means the people who are standard E, F, and G property rated properties will be provided assistance. Oh, sorry, once will be provided assistance from energy companies and the whole of the supply chain. And in order to meet the criteria, they must be on HHCRO benefit criteria, like the people who are
Social housing.
not necessarily Kamal, because Social housing has another, what you say, another scheme, similar scheme, but we are talking about just privately
Tenants.
private rented market and owner occupied market, right? And out of that, the scheme emphasis on the eligibility criteria. It can be, they can be, there's a different routes. They can be on certain benefits. Then there's another route, low income threshold. The household income has to meet a certain threshold to be eligible under the funding, which is backed by local authority. And similarly, the people who are living in a cold home or living in a fuel poverty home, basically, they can be benefit from the scheme as well. Similarly, there is a bespoke targeting, like they can get a referral from Department of Energy. They can get a referral from their local GPs that their health condition is poorly affected due to living in a drafty
In this
home.
house.
Yes. Yeah. For example, yes.
Okay.
So there's a wide variety of eligibility criteria.
And how quick is the application and to get approved and actually to get your house sorted? Because
So,
you know it's summer now,
mhm,
so not a lot of people will be affected.
mhm,
But once the weather starts getting cold again, we are talking October, November.
yes,
That's when everyone will feel the suffering again.
exactly. So, for example, now I give you an analysis what how many properties we retrofit in a 28-day period.
Mhm.
So, in terms of the sorry, uh, the let's say we generate nearly 100 to 120 properties a month. We retrofit with our complete supply chain. So once the customer is retrofit advised, and then the escalation, then the process goes to the escalation phase. Once they meet the criteria, uh, our complete retrofit assessment has been taken place in the property. Then the property has been designed by our retrofit coordinators and retrofit designers, and then the properties have been passed to retrofit installation. So I would say in a I would say 4 to 6 weeks, customers can enjoy their warm homes.
4 to 6 weeks
4 to 6 weeks
from application.
from the application, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
4 to 6 weeks. See, there's different type of applications, right? So we run a lot of advisory and awareness campaigns for customers. We have a lot of uh, awareness campaigns in local areas where our team of retrofit advisors try to identify the properties which can meet the criteria, as well as,
When you say there is a threshold of income,
yeah.
what does that mean?
So so let's say, so
What
what.
is the minimum or what's the maximum income a family should have to be able to qualify?
So the maximum income, the household income has to be £31,000
Mhm.
to meet eligibility criteria under the Route One of Local Authority Flex.
Mm.
And but let's say a family which is claiming child benefits, they can go up to 48,000 with with the number of kids
Mhm.
they have, number of children they have. And
And being a single mom or being an elderly,
yes,
does that help as well?
yes, a lot. Like for example, I would say 30% of our customer base, we assist to retrofit their properties, is around, let's say, 30% of them are single mothers
Okay.
who are either living in our rented property or they own their own properties. And I would say another 30 to 40% is pensioners and people who are severely affected by.
So being old or being a single mom actually helps.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of assistance,
Okay.
like
That
everywhere, not just this sector. There's a lot of assistance in a housing market, as you know yourself.
mm.
Like even the government actually helps and assist single mothers as well as vulnerable people who have been,
And
if
if anyone wants to, for example, from our listeners that wants
yeah,
to apply for this, they can apply to you straight
yeah,
away.
straight away, yeah.
So they can just go to GRM Partners,
Yeah,
GRM Partners, and then they can
yeah,
get in touch with one of one
yeah,
of their team members, and then they can deal with them.
yeah.
Okay.
And
And how long left on the scheme?
so we are, so so each scheme is divided into 4 phases. So we just finished the phase two. We just commenced phase three from 1st of April.
this year?
Yeah, this year, just few
Oh,
weeks
so you
ago.
have 1 year left after this
No, so we
phase
got 2 years left.
from now.
Yeah, we got 2 years left, and I would say the obligation has not been met yet. The like each phase has their obligation to be met.
And none of the phases have met their
No,
obligations.
so we are carrying forward,
Mm.
and we are still on the track. Don't get me wrong. The suppliers, the energy companies, they are on track with their obligations, but we are still lacking behind a certain percentage, and which we hope to cover up in this upcoming phase.
Okay, and you're saying that the process is only 4 to 6 weeks from application.
Yeah,
So you think the main reason that the energy companies or the energy suppliers are not able to meet all their obligations every year is because there is lack of awareness,
I would say,
or
Kamal.
because people are skeptical,
Yeah,
or
there's a. I would say some percentage it affects because of lack of awareness as well,
Mm,
but people are skeptical,
mm.
and they do not really believe that in a modern day, people don't believe something's actually for free,
Yes, of
right?
course. With
And
all these scams going
yes,
around,
and but I would say energy company obligations been going on since 2013, and we are in the fourth period of the scheme now. And before that, it was different scheme. It was called Green Deal
mm,
before 2013, and it has seriously affected and improved a lot of people's and a lot of families, and how much they're spending on their daily spend on electricity, gas, or to heat their house. And I mean, see, we live in the cities, so we don't know the impact of fuel poverty, right? But I have witnessed properties in a rural areas of England or Wales or Scotland, which are which seriously needs help to reduce
so
their.
you think that the properties that need help the most
Yeah,
are in West Midlands and up north?
I would say the properties which my analyst says, what my experience says, the properties which need most assistance and most help is Wales for sure, because Wales is hard to treat area, and then you go to southwest, which is Devon, Exeter, Cornwall, Bath region, Bristol, all these areas. Then you got your West Midlands, and I would say a little bit of Anglia part, the east side, Norwich, Ipswich, and Peterborough. These areas are.
So the whole country needs it except
No,
southeast.
no. I wouldn't say northeast as well,
Okay,
right? But see, there's segments I would divide the country which needs the most.
okay.
So
Because by default, the southeast is the richest part of the UK
I would say, yeah. I mean, the average household income is higher than the rest of the country of
in the
southeast.
southeast.
Yeah,
Okay. And what is the mission of GRM Partners now over the next, because you have only 2 years left on the scheme,
yeah,
and you want to, you it looks like you are actively working on decarbonizing
yeah.
the housing market.
Yes,
So what is your mission for that? How are you thinking that in the next couple of years
yeah.
you will be able to contribute the most?
So I would say we are on a track to, let's say, for example, in the next 2 years, we would like to at least retrofit 5,000 dwellings. That means another 5,000 properties.
Mhm.
And I would say if from GRM and partners, there would be an obligation, nationwide obligation for the whole scheme, we would at least assist 10%, 15% to the
To the market, yeah.
to the suppliers
Mhm.
to reach their obligation.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So any energy supplier
Yeah.
can is part of this scheme, or
So
the only some energy suppliers part of this and some are not.
so the scheme is monitored by Office of Gas Electricity Market,
Mhm.
which is Ofgem, and they decide the obligation, which supplier is required to meet this obligation by.
So that means that if my supplier is not on the list, then I am not qualified.
No, not necessarily. See, how it works is whoever is your utility provider is, doesn't matter, because it's the scheme for the all of the nationwide, you see. So it doesn't matter whether your energy supplier is on the list or not. Like, we have customers from Avanti Gas in Midlands, which provides liquid petroleum gas to the households. Then you got Wales and West Utilities. They haven't got obligation, but the market is divided into few segments. Let's say your primary utility provider, who has the biggest accusation of the market, they are obliged certain percentage of annual bill savings to be achieved by retrofitting properties nationwide. So let's say primary biggest utility provider, British Gas. They are the number one supplier to meet their obligation, and they have the largest proportion of the market. So hence they have the largest obligation. Similarly, your EDF Energy, they are the second largest utility provider. They have a large obligation as well. You got Octopus Energy, Shell Energy.
And GRM works in partnership with all of them.
We work with certain utilities, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That I think that is very important for a lot of people because okay, does that only qualify for all properties? That means that any property built after a certain time or after a certain year
No,
meets the obligations?
no. So any properties which has been erected, constructed prior to 2022 can qualify if, see, it's not, the eligibility criteria is not dependent on property type. It's more based on their energy rating.
Okay.
So properties which meet E, F, and G rating, they can affect they
So
can,
any EPC,
yes,
EFG
yeah,
can,
can
can
gain the most.
okay.
Then obligation is given to D rated properties as well. So
So below D you are really in good condition.
yeah,
D and above you need serious help.
yes, exactly. We treat D-rated properties as well. Don't
Mm,
get me wrong. And there's another sister scheme of the scheme
mm,
called, it came last year, Eco Plus, but it's been renamed as Great British Insulation Scheme.
mm.
So even the people who are not meeting the criteria of Eco 4, but they can still gain help in terms of insulation, as long as, so there's only two criteria. One is a general ban, which is anybody can get help from that. 20% will be funded by energy suppliers, and the rest 80% contribution needs to be contributed from
The household.
a household. Then
That is on the second scheme.
yes,
The first scheme, everything is
fully
free,
funded
fully funded.
if you meet the eligibility criteria.
Okay. And what about businesses?
Businesses, see, that's a very good and very valid point, Kumar, because business does not fall under any of these schemes. And business,
Poorest.
yes, business needs serious help.
Yeah, businesses need serious help.
Yes, because, but what Department of Energy BIS says, that businesses is a business. They're earning money. That's why they're there. So they should be having, I mean, like in some countries, they give subsidies to install solar panels, install wind turbines to businesses. I think there is some subsidy criteria over here in UK as well, but not that much.
And it's not well known as well.
Yes.
I think the biggest problem we are facing now is the lack of awareness.
Yes.
Because if residential property owners or tenants and business owners
Yeah.
or tenants know this, then
Yeah.
definitely there'll be more awareness, and definitely these will be used properly and faster.
Yeah.
And that also will stimulate the market because you are saying you want to do 5,000 properties over the next 2 years.
Yeah.
How many companies like the GRM can do this?
Not many.
Not many.
Not many.
Okay, why is that?
Because it all comes down to, see, uh the problem is to find the properties, right? And a company can have, like, we got few competitors, they meet really good obligations, and they do similar numbers as us, even more than us. But it all depends up to finding the properties, and that's just one part, one aspect of that, right? Then Second is meeting.
Convincing the owner or the tenant, the
Yeah.
resident of the property,
Yes.
they're gonna get a freebie
Yeah.
is very hard.
Yes.
I think if someone knocked on my door and said, "Come in, I'm gonna give you a free TV," I'll close the door.
No. Exactly. Right.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's another aspect. Then the third aspect is to work with a good supply chain and a good network.
And this is my point because this will stimulate the economy very, very much.
Yes.
My point is if there are 15, 20 GRM partners in the country,
Mm-hmm.
and every company is doing 5 to 6,000 properties a year,
Yeah.
you are talking at 30, 40,000 properties that will be retrofitted a year.
Yes.
That will need a strong supply chain.
Yes.
Supply chain straight away means that the market will be healthier,
Yes.
building merchants will be healthier,
True.
the home, and the money will circulate in the economy better and faster.
Yeah. 100%. See,
Instead of giving it to utility companies,
Mhm.
you'll be giving it to actually other businesses.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
these businesses will giving it to their employees, and the money will flow better in the economy.
exactly. See, our partners are energy companies who we work with. They are very, very well aware of this, and they assist their supply chain as much as they can, right? And in terms of back to my original statement, what I was mentioning to you. So we just covered the two aspects. Then the third aspect is to make sure the installers you are using around you, they meet the past 2030 standards. Now the past 2035 is gonna start from the April
This year.
2025,
Right.
and which we are already implementing. So these, to find a good installations, that's a primary aspect, because install is the crucial part of the whole process, right? And that's why I would say, like, these are some certain challenges which prevent that to happen.
Can I ask you some questions?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me about the funny stories that happened to you as GRM partners with with residents?
Yeah.
Or with supply chain?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the worst subcontractor you had and you had to get, or subcontractor or a company in your supply chain network that you used to work with, and you had to get rid of them because they were just. Because don't get me wrong, it doesn't matter who you are and how big is your company.
Yeah.
The market is full of cowboys.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you, Kamal. And I mean, it's now you mentioned, so I would say, I don't know, the
You don't need, you don't have to say names.
No, I won't say names. Obviously, I won't say names. I won't degrade anyone here. But I'm just thinking. Right. So we had issues in the past with certain installers. So see, a customer, a resident, needs to be communicated in a proper and a fair communication, right? And we had in past with the installers when they have erected scaffolding and they have gone missing. Right.
Okay.
And now another another things is, if, for example, they are went to install cavity wall insulation, and they missed one side of the wall.
So they only insert one side.
So then, let's say it's a semi-detached property. They missed one side, and they only did two sides, and they missed one side, right? And you sent
And then they come and argue with you, we finish the job.
yeah, and then but we send a post inspection as well, so we know the other part has not been filled.
And how do you get them back? Is it hard?
Sometimes it is. Sometimes, if you have a good relationship, and it is genuine mistake, it's fine.
Mm.
But sometimes it's really hard to.
Sometimes they run out of money
Yeah,
and they don't want to go back
exactly.
because they have no money.
Yeah.
And they will be expected to get paid again to go and finish the original scope of work.
Yes, 100%. And the other day, like, we sent installers to improve ventilation of the property prior to installing any fabric measures, and he's been directed to install certain ventilation improvements in the property, and he did half and didn't tell anyone. and,
And he was expecting that you guys will not know.
yeah, and he thought we wouldn't know, but we need photographic evidence. Plus, we do a C2, C3 inspections after the while we are at the property, while the job is already getting installed. See, it's a whole house retrofit approach. We are not just doing one thing. We're doing so many different things in a property to make sure the property's energy
So
efficiency
what actually
improves.
do is walls insulations,
Yeah,
loft insulation,
yeah,
air source heat pump,
yeah.
solar panels.
hmm
What else? If
We
I missed
do
anything.
ground truss heat pumps as well.
Okay,
We do floor insulation,
okay.
solid or suspended, either. We do different types of wall insulation, solid, cavity, system built insulation, and hybrid wall, like one part of the property externally insulated, one part internally.
How is the inflation has how the inflation has affected this?
Oh, a lot,
Uh,
because see,
I assume a lot of profit margins have been killed,
yes, because see, the cost of the material is every day going up. Now
and the
it's
budget for the scheme is set.
it's still the same,
Yes,
right? And this is a problem which we encounter on daily basis, where inflation is going up, as you know, what, 3%, 4% a year, 3%, I guess,
sometimes higher,
sometimes higher, right? Now the wages has to be increased. Now materials gets increased, and
and the sale value is the same.
yeah, logistics increase, and a lot of, like, your running cost increase, and but your sale value is still same. So the to keep up with the profit margins and keep up with the quality as well at the same time, and not compromise quality in any way possible, is a bit hard.
Wow. Okay. I guess it's so challenging. You used to work for the social housing before.
So yes,
Okay. I
uh,
think this is a different. This is a different ball game.
yes, it is. See, we got another branch working with closely with local authorities, and again, it's as you know, it's a different thing.
And how hard is it?
I would say it's not hard, but it's just, again, cowboys installers, right?
I love them. Yeah.
Yeah, same. Then the a lot of, like, support from your clients. You don't get your support from main contractors or your client, to in order for you to provide the right service, right? And these are a lot, and then access issues all the time. Customers, to liaise with the tenants, they do, like, if their housing provider wants to improve something, they don't agree,
Mhm.
right? Now, because they only want to do certain things, but they don't let the contractors in. You
You go
might,
there and do the job.
yes, you might, you're fully
Yeah, yeah,
aware
yeah,
of that,
yeah.
right?
100%.
So
We have. Sometimes we go to properties
yes,
and the resident doesn't allow us in.
yes, exactly. And you're appointed by their housing provider, right?
Yes, and you have to go back to the housing provider,
Hundred
and the
percent.
housing provider has to go back to them, and
Yes,
you're under a very tight time scale,
exactly.
10 days or 15 days or 20
Yes.
days to go and finish the whole job,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
becomes impossible.
Which is really challenging.
And then that costs us more money because then you have a lost day, you
Yeah,
paid wages,
yeah,
fuel, all of this,
all of that.
which just becomes.
Materials are there, and there's a possibility your materials might get destroyed
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or spoiled.
They might take it and sell it.
Yeah.
We had that before.
Your materials get stolen, right? And so see, these are the challenges, right? And now, funny stories about, let's say, customers, right? Now, we have advised them that it's a retrofit process, right? Retrofit means, w- let's say, to retrofit this mug, right? This mug is already there, but its outer layer or inner layer is getting affected. So our job is to make sure to improve the inner layer and the outer layer and the bottom, right?
So the mug can remain doing its job.
Exactly. So, but the customer, no matter what you explain to them, they only want to remove the problem which is at outer layer, but the inner problem still stays same.
Yeah, because they care too much about their decor inside, about their walls, about the color of their
Yes,
walls.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, right. But the internal and the outside has to meet the same criteria to make sure that performs well. Similarly, the house performs well. See, each house each dwelling has its performance, right? It has its condition, It has its housing health and safety rating system. It has its energy efficiency. It has its performance in terms of exposures. Like,
What do you think is the biggest hurdle right now?
see, in terms of,
Is it finding the right supply chain,
I would
or
say,
finding the right residents?
see, none actually. To be honest with you,
So what is
it's
the hardest?
so it's I mean, see, they contribute towards the challenge. No doubt about that. That your supply chain has to be perfect. Not perfect, at least needs to be to the standards, right? And customers needs to be on the same page
Need
as,
to be understanding and
yes,
more
y-
accommodating.
yes. But touch wood, like 80% of our customers who we have retrofitted their properties, they have been really considerate.
Does it depend on different nationalities or different areas or no?
I would say people, that's a very good question, Kamal. Like, I wouldn't say about nationality, right? But area, it depends. Like, I've,
Geographical locations makes
yes,
different.
yeah, the geography, it definitely. I mean, you go up north. I had customers where I went for the post inspection if somebody was not around, and I went to sign off the job, right? And they didn't let me go, made me dinner, this, that, and the
Seriously.
yes, people it's different, right?
And they were very accommodating.
Very accommodating, very nice. And I was on a call with a customer. She had a ish in, like, she had some confusion about something yesterday, and I ended up chatting to her on the phone like for 45 minutes or something, and just nice. People are just nice sometimes, right? But as we go towards major cities like Greater Manchester, Greater London, I wouldn't say all of them, but uh quite substantial amount of percentage of people who are
You know,
not very
and I will
accommodating.
tell you why.
Yeah,
Because their life is so stressful. And the main
probably.
reason is living in a rural area and living outside
Yeah.
gives you a better lifestyle,
Yes.
makes you live longer,
100%.
makes you love life. You
100%.
go into the cities,
Yeah.
everyone hates each other. You'll be
Yes.
driving on the roads, beeping at each other.
Yes. Yes.
No
Yes.
one.
Yes.
So
Yes.
then they will not have time to speak to you. They will not have time for you. Nothing.
See, I've been living in the premises where I currently live, and I don't know who's my neighbor for 3 years. So
Exactly.
exactly right.
And I assume you don't live in the city. You live in the
I
outskirts.
live in, yes, I live in a little bit of outskirts, but it's connected to the city,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So, yeah, similar to where you are, for
Yeah,
example, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And and I don't know whether it's a fault on my side or the other side, but it's just, it is what it is.
No, don't get me wrong. People in London, you see that actually every day. They
Mm.
finish work and they go to the tube, and everyone hates everyone.
Yeah.
They don't smile.
No, no
You
smile.
you you'll be walking in
Yes.
a rural area in the outskirts in any of the counties or the villages.
Yeah.
Everyone smiles at everyone. Everyone says good morning.
Yes.
Everyone is so happy.
Yes.
Everyone wants to help.
Yes.
In London, they stab each other.
See, see, before we started GRM Partners, I was mostly working around Greater London, M25, and a little bit of outskirts of London
Yeah.
for different housing providers, right?
Okay.
But we were doing a project. You met Hasem, right?
Yes.
Me and Hasem, I was managing a project down southwest,
Okay.
and for one of the largest social housing provider in the country, and I was so really shocked. I'll show you a picture now that people had, and it's just not one area, different area. People had boards like free strawberries, take as much as you want,
Exactly.
right? Like, I'll find it out for you now. I'll show you, and I was like, wow.
I'll make sure we show this on the video.
I'll just show you now. So,
And exactly, you're 100% right.
and free lettuce, and take.
And they'll be growing them in their
Yes,
gardens.
yes, 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 yes. And I never saw that part of United Kingdom, and I was really, really
Shocked.
shocked in a good way.
I'll tell you a very funny story.
Yeah,
The first ever altercation that happened to me.
yeah,
I've been here living in the UK for approximately 10 years.
yes,
was in London.
Mm-hmm.
Was in London.
Yeah.
I was on the train,
Yeah.
and I was speaking Arabic on the phone,
Okay.
and someone behind me got so angry and so offended, and she started running after me on the train.
For what?
I'm not joking. She started running after me.
That's what
You
I'm
don't
talking.
get this outside of London.
No, no, no. You don't. People and so we had a contract to do the stock condition for a lot of socially rented dwellings for our client, right? So we used to make sure that we are doing the project appraisal, this and that. And you wouldn't believe, Kamal, like everybody, like if I started analyzing one estate, everybody I saw said good morning.
Outside of London.
Yeah, that in that near Cornwall, right, near
Okay.
Southwest region, Exeter, Great Torrington, all those areas. Every single one said good morning. And it's just see these little small things affects your mentality and how your day will go. You see,
100%.
and to have a good day, you need to have these little things which makes a difference. You understand? Now, here you go. I found this now. It's and I saw it for first time, and I was like, "Wow, man, this is real." There you go. It's there you go.
Wow. This is free salary. Help yourself.
Yes, there's a board saying "free, help yourself," and they got lettuce and they got
Yeah.
this,
You don't get this anywhere else. You don't get this anywhere else.
and it's not just one.
One instant. It's actually there all the
And I
time.
saw it so many times, like free strawberries, right, and free tomatoes, and free lettuce, free bread, free eggs, and it's just unreal, right? And so
If you go and tell this to anyone who lives in London, he'll tell you you're lying. They will not actually understand that there are actually some
and
nice people lives outside of London.
yes, and I don't know whether they would say I'm lying, or it might not make any difference in their life. But if you think deeply about these little things, about the lifestyle and like different things, it's it's these little things only makes difference
Let me ask you a question. What do you think of the UK market at the moment?
in terms of
The economy.
see when I came when I was a student and I was studying in central London, and I used to see people with money to spend, right? Because I used to work in a restaurant as well. So people were able to spend on just general things, like going out, stuff like just not necessities, but living their life as well. Like you would say,
Luxury and leisure.
yes, like you would say on a Sunday in Notting Hill, Portobello Market, people, so many people buying buying groceries, having coffees, and you would go to Covent Gardens, Soho. You would see people having nice lunches, and etc. 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 But right, but now, as of 2024,
People are struggling.
people are really struggling, and you can see once you can see the poverty on the streets, right? And nobody would say this is a first world country,
Mhm.
and
You know what? I
yeah,
went to Birmingham.
mm-hmm,
I had a site visit
yeah,
in Birmingham.
yeah,
I can't remember where in Birmingham,
yeah,
but I'm not joking. You walk on this high street and you will not think that this is a first world country.
yeah.
You will think this is seventh world country.
Yes,
It is so bad,
bad, so
so
bad.
bad,
Yeah.
and no one cares.
Mm-hmm.
The local councillors don't care. The local
But
authority doesn't care.
Birmingham's council has been bankrupt now.
Yes, and no one is helping. It is just
Yep.
becoming like,
I can, yeah, 100%. I can agree with you, 100% with on
and
that.
whose fault is this?
Sorry.
Whose fault is this?
You know what? To play a blame game in this scenario
Mm.
is not the right and wise thing for us to do, because there's a lot of factors affecting its inflation for sure. But inflation is directly related for the cash in the economy, right? And it's
Do you agree with the bounce back loans?
Sorry,
Do you agree with the bounce back loans?
the loans.
The bounce back loans.
No, I don't.
This has affected the economy very bad.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Yeah. See,
It's actually hurt the economy.
I no, see. I tell you something. Another funny. It's not a funny. It's a really sad story. Uh, it is a recent incident. We were retrofitting. We were about to start a project in this property in Derby, right, Midlands. Lovely guy. I like. He called. My team told me about him. Like he's a very good guy and the resident, right? And we were all set to start the project, and we were nearly spending what 30 to 40,000 pound in his house, and you know what, he backed out of the installation, which would actually help him out on what, that he said, I checked with my sister, she has a same heat pump and solar panels and this and that, and she's spending around 80 pound a month with that. For me, that's a good system. 80 pound a month is a good system on
So
a.
how much was he spending originally?
So, and he was spending nearly what, let's say fuel. He was burning fuel, like he was burning wood.
Mm.
He was using liquid petroleum gas,
Mhm.
LPG, and let's say, yeah, he would use 700, 800 pound in 6 months or something, right? And so he said, and this is not a normal size property. It's a property. The floor area is around 230 square meters.
The property.
Big property, right? And he said to me, he called me, and he said to me, Amish, I cannot go ahead with this. He mentioned it to my team, and then he called me as well, that because I can't afford to pay £100. If it comes more, I can't afford to pay my energy bills £100. And this is a house, massive house in a countryside, rural area, and the guy, he don't turn on electricity in his house because he's afraid to spend.
How old was he?
He was pensioner. It was 68. He was 68 years old.
And that shows you how the living crisis is so
Exactly.
bad. Cost of living crisis is so bad.
It's just so bad. And I felt really, and see, in that instance, I can't help. I can't, like, I'm not in a position to make a decision for him, for his house. I can advise him. I can give him my recommendations, my suggestions, and that's all I can do, right? But I could have given him my assurance, and by providing him designs, that that's how much approximately you will spend in a month. But he said, I just I'm
I
just
just cannot afford it.
I'm scared of spending. I don't know if my bills comes more than that. I'm really scared.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't say anything.
And how do you think that's going to change?
See,
if you are in a position of power,
yeah,
what would you do?
to change that.
Yeah, no, just to change the crisis we have in the UK, because people are going to start losing their houses like this.
Yeah.
People probably are not having full meals like this.
Yes.
People cannot afford to go out. People cannot afford to do a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So
See, Kamal, I don't know. I don't know myself, like what I would do. What do you think? What you would do? What?
I will focus more on in spending
Yeah.
in the country rather
Yeah.
than expanding
No, but
outside of the country.
no, 100%, 100. That's for
Because
sure. That's for sure.
because there's a lot of external spending happening.
Yes.
And my biggest problem here as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, the government looks at you because you're a business owner. They think that you have all the money in the world.
Yeah.
They will
Which
keep
is not-
taxing you left, right,
yes,
and center.
Yes.
And they will not wait on you.
Yes.
And then they will look at you like you have money we have to take.
Yes.
When in fact, the government is not spending properly.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. Yeah.
Look, I'm a civil engineer.
Yeah.
I design roads and I build roads.
Yes.
I drive in London.
Yes.
You will see the potholes have been
Yes.
done 10 times in 1 year.
Yes.
They cannot be, they're not done one time right.
Yes.
That is all taxpayers' money.
Yes.
Getting
Yes.
is wasted.
I
Is wa-
absolutely agree with you. Like the roads. in London are really
How
bad.
many people are abusing
Yeah.
the universal credit system?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
and no one is doing anything about it.
Yeah.
And what happens is, we as a business, we are affected. As a business, I'm affected because I cannot hire the right candidates, because the
Yes.
right candidates are not working.
Yes.
The right candidates are staying
See.
at home
Yes.
and are applying for universal credit.
Yes.
And where is this money going from? From my pocket or from your pocket? From the business.
Yes.
Okay, when they increase the national insurance, who was paying for this?
Yes. Yes.
The
Yes.
employers' national insurance. I've never heard about it. Now, employers' national insurance,
Yeah.
increasing employers' national insurance.
Yeah.
They are talking about increasing corporation tax to 25%.
See, I would, I absolutely agree with you, and the thing is, right, Kamal. What in my opinion, the UK does not have a good employability. Like, there's a not a good employee force in the country.
Yes.
People, I'm not saying majority, but I'm saying a bit effectively. Like, people don't want to work.
The UK does not export.
Yes.
And there is a reason behind this.
Yes.
After the UK used to be one of the strongest manufacturing countries in the world, going back 100 years ago. That has changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only two car makers in the UK are Aston Martin and Rolls Royce.
Mm-hmm.
And why is that? Because the only way for them to be able to manufacture cars, they have to be very premium.
Yeah.
Because of all the surroundings,
Yeah.
all the factors.
Yeah.
It is becoming nearly impossible, nearly impossible
Mm.
for the UK to export anything.
Yeah.
The UK only export banking system.
Yeah. Service industry.
It is 100% service industry
Yeah.
driven economy. And you know what would be the biggest problem?
Yeah.
When everyone who works in the local government at that time now goes retires because there isn't enough working force to take over.
Yeah. See, I can,
And on top of all of this, the UK population is not going down.
Yeah.
It's actually going up.
Yes.
There's a message behind this.
Exactly.
People are not leaving their houses for work.
Yeah.
People are not going for education.
Yes.
People are not even going to college. Okay. As I have a construction company.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have a lot of projects that I cannot start now because I am struggling to find the right people.
100%. 100%.
And that is affecting the economy. And it is a fact. And everyone can see it. But no one is doing anything about it.
Kamal, I, as a business owner, I struggle to find the right workforce, as we were discussing earlier on. That supply chain is really important, and to establish a good, skillful workforce is really hard because, because United Kingdom do not have potential to offer,
Yeah, exactly.
right? And in terms of employees.
In my university,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I studied engineering.
Yeah.
Everyone was foreigner.
And in my university,
Everyone was foreign. I think it were like 5, 6 of my classmates
Yeah.
that were not foreigners, and all of these
Yeah.
will study
Yeah.
and will go back to their countries.
Yeah.
As a country, you are lacking engineers.
yes.
Okay, we have ads up and running to hire structure engineers for over 2 months.
And none of a good potential candidate
Nothing,
applied.
nothing.
Wow.
We are getting people working in takeaway shops that want to work as engineers. They don't even have degrees. You understand how bad it is?
No, that's bad.
You put the same ad in India, in Egypt, in the Middle East.
Yeah.
You have a lot of engineers.
100%. See, my dad, he's a civil engineer.
And you are a chartered civil.
Yes, my dad is a civil engineer. My grandfather is a civil engineer. My father's brother is a civil engineer, and I'm talking about my granddad was civil engineer. What, 80 years ago, something?
Exactly. And we are having a big problem.
Yeah.
And no one is understanding this. No one is
Yeah.
understanding that if we stay like this for the next 20 years,
Yeah.
we'll have a population staying at home and no one filling the jobs.
Yes.
Okay, that will be a crisis.
Yeah.
And
See-
then it will come what? The universal wage.
See, I was there was an economic forum,
Yes.
and I read something there, and I was really shocked.
What was it?
Like there was all these big boys, they were mentioning that the by 2030 they want to establish like credits on, like everybody, nobody will own anything,
Yes.
right? It is like a subscription for life. Do you understand?
And universal wage.
Yeah, exactly. Like
It doesn't matter if you work or you don't work.
yeah.
Your income is only okay. I'll tell you something that's shocking
Yes.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't believe in conspiracies.
Yes, yes,
But I've
yes.
been seeing so much that I just have to start and thinking outside of the box.
Yes.
I actually believe that the high interest rate in the UK economy at the moment for people buying properties is all a plan, so no one can be able to own the property
Yeah.
by 2030,
Yeah.
and it will be a population to rent, no population to buy.
Yes.
A generation to rent, no generation to buy.
See these
Then they can be controlling you.
see these multinational. I think when did we spoke about this when we were in Dubai and did we spoke about this, like a majority of multinationals from overseas are buying properties in
Yeah.
United Kingdom,
Yeah,
right? And what they're buying for then?
exactly.
So towards the universal goal
Yes.
that
A lot of big institutions,
yes,
are
Yeah.
buying, and they are buying in
and
bulk
stocking, yeah,
and stocking,
Yeah.
and that will only go for renting.
Yes,
They are not going to sell
yes, they're
at
not gonna
all.
sell. Exactly.
At all.
Exactly. No, so that's what I was reading about it in Economic Forum, that by year 2030 you wouldn't be required to buy any, like own anything, a car or land or any materials. Like you can rent everything. That's what they were referring to. That
By the way, it's happening
yeah,
now.
you can
All
have
right.
you can have your meat allowance.
Look, let me ask you
You,
a question.
you can
How
have
many people in the
yeah,
UK now buy their cars? No one.
yeah,
It's all lease purchase,
yes,
PCP,
yes,
or hire purchase,
yes,
or lease agreement.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
If you go now and say I want to buy a
Yeah.
car in cash, they will look at you like you're crazy.
And you know what actually it happened to me? They what they if you go to a car company, right? They, you know what they would say?
They will try to offer you finance
No, if you buy it
outright.
outright, they won't give you outright because
They make more money on finance.
they'll increase the price on that.
Yes, because they make more money on finance.
Exactly. We would
So
like to do.
again, going back to the question,
Yeah.
what do you think the UK economy will look like in 10 years or in 5 years?
It's really hard times are coming, my friend.
You think hard times are coming?
Yes.
So you don't think it's going to get better? It's going to get worse.
It's gonna get worse.
And do you think it's better now to work here or to work in different countries?
It depends what sector you are in, to be honest with you.
Construction.
I would say
I'm going to tell you something. You're an entrepreneur.
yes.
Okay. You choose your own sector.
Yeah, yes, 100%. See,
You can
I-
tomorrow be selling fish.
yeah,
Next year you can be selling lands.
exactly.
Year after you can be making cars. It does not matter.
Exactly. See, I I have this thing, and my business partner, he's got the same thing as well, right? We get bored easily. So, okay, my plan to sell solar panels now, produce and generate electricity and sell it, right? I might do something completely different next year if I get bored with this. Do you understand?
Do you think the UK infrastructure can take all these electric cars?
No,
You don't think so?
no, the infrastructure cannot take electric cars. Similarly, infrastructure cannot see let's go back to the topic, right? The United Kingdom government and Department of Energy, BEIS, they are pushing heat pumps. They are
Heat pumps is amazing.
they're penalizing. So I give you so I was there was this retailer from Worcester, Bosch. He was in the office the other day, and he was mentioning to me, if they sell X amount of boilers, they get, and if they don't sell X amount of heat pumps,
They get penalties.
they get penalty of not selling the heat pumps, which is really good, right? But now so this is the thing, to reduce the dependency on the fossil fuels such as LPG, oil, heating oil, and your solid fuel and your CNG, natural gas. It's a very good initiative by United Kingdom to push towards hydrogen boilers as well as
Air source heat pumps.
air source or ground source heat pumps, right? But at the same time, the population needs to understand what is good and what's bad, right? Okay, they say now there was this guy said, you know what? I'm 65. I'm gonna live maybe another 10, 15 years, and I don't want to change heat pump because
I don't know what is that.
yes, and he said I have a gas boiler and I love it. It. I pay 60 quid a month to heat my house, and I'm okay with that. And I'm gonna live another 10 years, and that's it. After whatever happens, I don't care. So people with that ideology, and I agree with them. If I were in their position, I would do the same, right?
Mhm.
And so
I wanted to be a little bit sustainable, and I bought a Tesla
okay,
to drive it around
okay,
when I go to sites,
yes,
so I don't have to.
fuel up and all. No, but tell me this.
And that was the biggest mistake I have done.
So, tell me
There
the
is not enough EV chargers.
exactly. That's that.
You know how many times the car stopped?
Sorry, yeah,
How many times the car stopped?
yeah,
Honestly,
yeah,
it is so frustrating.
exactly.
There's no, and then you have to go and
Get a charge
and you have to be looking at which services, which
yes,
route you have to take, and even if you want to charge in central London,
yeah.
you cannot. You know, in central London you cannot charge because the EV charges are only for the residents.
Wow.
If you don't live in central London, you cannot charge your car over there. So that was the biggest
Mistake.
and the worst decision I have done.
See, because Kamal, you know what? You know why? Because see, you did it with good initiative, but the thing is, there's not enough resources,
100%.
right?
And that's what made me think, okay, I don't think actually the infrastructure or the grid we have at the moment,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
will be able to. And you know why?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where are they going to get this electricity from?
True. See, they
Solid fuels.
yeah. I mean, see, one of our client at Octopus Energy, now they have been awarded as the biggest renewable energy supplier in the United Kingdom, right? And they are doing like companies like them. They are doing really best what they can, right? But they need to have a support from the government. They need to have a support with the population to emphasize on renewable energy. And renewable energy is good, but it's not in vast proportion.
For example,
Yeah.
one of the biggest countries in the world, the US,
Yes.
doesn't have the capacity
Yeah.
to charge all the electric cars.
Yes. Yes.
It is a fact.
It's
Electric
fact.
cars now, brand new,
Yeah.
brand new,
Yeah.
they are going out for sale with a discount
Yeah.
because no one is buying them.
Yes. See, I
So I don't. I believe this was a con. This is not really a good scheme. Just explain to me how are
yeah.
they going to run all these EV chargers, and how are they going to power all these EV chargers?
Mm-hmm. So
Every single house right now,
I
at planning stage, you
yeah.
need to have two EV chargers.
True. True.
The
They're
grid,
pushing towards it. Yeah.
the grid cannot take this.
Yeah. Grid cannot take this. So this is where entrepreneur you mentioned we are entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
So this is so what is the
What can you do?
no what is the definition of an entrepreneur? Let's say
Yeah.
what is the definition?
Just to think outside of the box and find
Exactly,
solutions
right?
and put the problems
There's a simple. My ideology is find a problem
and find solution.
and a solution to mitigate that problem.
I have a very easy solution.
Yes.
Stop using electric cars.
See that's one
And
way.
it's a very cheap solution as well.
That's a very that's one way to look at it. Lovely, I agree with you. But there's another way to look at it is there's a production of renewable energy should be pushed, right? That means that
More solar farms.
more solar farms, more hydro farms. UK is an island, and I don't see
Why there's no hydro farms?
there's no hydro farms. Like when I go to India, whenever I go, I have witnessed amazing and like it's just architectural beauty, construction beauty that they have created that hydro farms, and they are storing water to generate with these turbines and geothermal energy, hydro energy, and it's just unreal. And I have never seen a single hydro farm in United Kingdom.
You know why?
Why?
No money in the budget. That's the secret answer. Everything, no money's in the budget. No money's in the budget.
Yes, no money is in the budget. That's the
You know how many contractors go bust because no money's in the budget?
yeah.
They go and they crack on with the works. The surveyor will tell them, go finish the works for the council.
Yeah.
They will do the works, will come for payments.
Mhm.
No money in the budget.
No money in the budget.
Wait for the next budget so we can pay your invoice.
No, so but
90 days, 100 days, 120 days.
I know.
How are they able to sustain all of this? It's impossible.
It's impossible. See, that's why if they don't have a budget allocation already, then why they are
No, it does not matter. Even if they have budget allocation,
okay.
things happen
Yeah.
and the money gets spent somewhere else.
Wow.
And then there's no budget.
So what they're spending money on?
There's no budget. There's no budget. There's no budget. Local authorities are very badly managed.
Yes.
You know, I will tell you the solution for this, not for this country,
Yeah.
for every country.
Yeah.
I think countries need to be run not by politicians,
Mhm.
but need to be run by businessmen and
100%.
entrepreneurs.
100%.
Okay, you need to make policies
Yeah.
that make sure that the policies are good for the public
Mhm.
and good for the businesses.
Yeah.
And businesses always need to be healthy and always need to be in cash positive, because if business is cash positive, we'll keep hiring,
Yeah,
we'll keep expanding.
Yes.
The money will keep circulating in the economy. If this is not happening,
Yeah.
nothing is going to happen.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Kamal. I absolutely agree with you on this because uh, businesses do not have enough money to sustain, to hire. If we don't hire, and again, we can go in circles again and again, right? But we can only hire if there's a good employee force, right? If there's a good skilled worker force. Now, I have, as you mentioned, I have never seen a engineer from United Kingdom, like a British born, like a good engineer.
No, there is some, but they're minority. Why? You know why they are minority?
Mhm.
It's not because the rest are bad.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is because the rest are all immigrants.
Mhm.
The rest are all foreigners.
Yeah.
The rest are all skilled workers that came from abroad,
Okay.
which is not bad thing. But why this is happening is because there is not enough supply
Mm-hmm.
for what is required.
Yeah,
So the
okay.
only way is to go abroad. When you go to the NHS,
Yeah.
I go to the NHS, I feel I'm in Egypt.
Mm.
All doctors are Egyptians.
Yeah.
You speak to them in Arabic, you feel in Egypt.
Yeah. Well.
And then they will tell you, yeah, we finish, and then we get recruited straight away to come and work in the NHS,
Mm.
which is not bad still. But my whole point is, if the economy goes like this for the next 20 years, there will not be enough STEM graduates.
Yeah.
There will not be enough engineers, enough doctors, enough people that can know enough entrepreneurs. Everyone now is on TikTok,
Yeah.
and they make so much money.
I'm not on
Are
TikTok.
it, good. I'm not as well.
I-
And they make so much
See,
money.
my girlfriend, she's watching all the time, right? And to be honest, I just
Just tell me, after TikTok goes,
Yeah.
how are these people going to make money? Okay, they are not smart enough to be
Yeah.
thinking outside of the box
Yes.
to find solutions to problems. Okay,
Yes.
they are just driven behind the big agenda.
Yeah.
Now it's TikTok. Next time it is, I don't know, OnlyFans. OnlyFans now.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, it is just becoming.
See, it's again the newer generation. Like we come from a similar age,
Yes.
right? And we had a different upbringing and different morals and values given to us by our parents, our society, right? That what is the right, not a right thing, but what is a productive thing for you to do, right? In your life, like study hard, find a solution, find a career to walk
Yeah.
upon, right? Find different solutions. My dad, he's a businessman all his life, right? And I've learned from him.
Exactly.
It is a good. There has to be a good
You
mentorship.
know what is really annoying and heartbreaking?
Yeah.
Okay, that you see how this beautiful country, how beautiful London is having these problems,
Yes.
and no one is doing anything about
Yes.
it, but everyone is talking about it.
Yes.
Everyone knows that there is a problem,
Yes,
but
yes.
no one is giving a solution.
Yes. 100%. See, people ask me, right? Some of my friends, they live in Middle East. Some of my friends I met here, they live in Australia. Like they're British born. They're British people. They're not living in United Kingdom, and they live overseas. One of my friend, he lives in Australia, and they asked me that how you find England. I said I absolutely love England
Yes,
because
but
England,
it
England
is so annoying
yeah,
to see this happen. You know how annoying it is when you drive at night in London,
yeah,
in Knightsbridge and you find all these vacant premises
Yes.
because businesses are not making money.
Yes.
When you go to Covent Garden and
Yeah.
it's empty.
It's empty. Exactly.
You go to Harrods and people there are walking.
Yes.
No one is buying.
No one is
Everyone is
buying.
watching. No one is buying.
Exactly, Kamal. That's the like restaurants are empty, coffee shops are empty. It's just a general thing, right? Like people, I agree with you. There's people don't have money to spend, and they can only have that when there's an initiative by the government to I don't know, just stabilize the interest rates. First of all, stabilize, I don't know, put some money in the market, right? But that's
That will create inflation again.
yes, it's gonna increase the inflation again. I agree with you, but
I think the reason for all of this is Brexit. I will always blame it on Brexit. 100%.
you think so?
You tell me how many good workers and subcontractors you would have right now in the UK from Eastern Europe and from South of Europe. They'll be working in this country and be doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
Okay, and we know how good is their work ethics
100%.
and their discipline.
See,
I will always blame it. I will always blame it on Brexit.
It's all comes down to work ethic, and I think there's a lack of work ethic in the market. They like to take 10 coffee breaks. Even I don't drink 10 coffees, man.
100%.
And I'm working day and night. I'm working on my computer. I'm always in the meeting. I'm always trying to find a solution for something, and I don't take 10 coffee breaks. I'm working and I do it.
Yes.
Right. But when I go see the sites and I go meet the installers, right? Like the work ethic is not the same compared to.
I used to have a site supervisor.
Okay.
And I will always drive and do like surprise visits without telling anyone.
Yeah.
If I'm in London, we used to have a site somewhere in London. I would go there without telling anyone. It was like a big project for 6-7 months. We were on site. Whenever I go over there, he's in the pickup truck having a tea break.
Yes.
And what he says every time, oh, you came on my tea break. Oh, really? No, I'm not. I did not come on your tea break. I said, you always come when I'm having a tea break. No, I'm not coming when I have a tea break. Mate, you are having a tea break.
Always.
You're not working. You are here on site to have tea breaks.
Exactly. Right. And nobody likes that, right? As a employer, I wouldn't like that if my
he ended up getting sacked.
Yeah.
Because he was not meeting his deadlines.
Yes.
The project program was getting delayed.
Yes.
He ended up getting sacked.
100%.
So this is the whole point. I would blame everything on Brexit. You know why? The whole economy was performing better for Brexit because everyone was afraid that the job would get taken by someone else.
Yes.
Okay, so then I will perform and do my best. But now it does not matter because there is a lot of work, but there is not enough resources to match.
True.
So I will always blame it on Brexit. I think Brexit was the biggest mistake that happened.
Okay, so now tell me.
If it was a mistake, I actually assume it was planned.
Okay, tell me this now, Kamal. Then I partially agree with you on that, right? Because now, okay, you mentioned that now there's a lot of jobs, but nobody wants them.
Yes.
So what's the solution for us then?
The solution is that you need to get skilled workers from abroad and pay £8,000 per worker to get them on a skilled labor visa.
Okay.
And how expensive? This is very expensive. You have, for every employee you are going to hire from abroad, it costs, if you want to get them fast track, from £5,000 or £8,000. It's just like, it's a big amount. If you want to hire 10, it's 50 grand. There's 50 grand that will go again in your bottom line, in your balance sheet as loss cost of hiring. Why? Why when all of this used to be for free? Okay, because it is a fact. It takes so long right now to hire someone to do the easiest job. Okay. An admin, you used to fill an admin role in 1 week. Okay, now it take a month. Find because you're not here to hire people. We are not a job center. No. We need to hire people that are good for the job.
Yeah.
Okay? To hire people that be someone, they don't even show up to the interview for the interview. They don't show up. I mean, like, it is a disaster.
Yes, no, I agree. See, we were hiring last 2 months ago something, right? We were hiring people, and amount of people applied. So many people applied, first of all, but 60% of them cancelled. They said, "Oh, we can't be bothered to come for an interview."
Yes.
I'm like, wow. And
you know why? Because they will be applying at the same time when they're having application with the Council for Universal Credit, whichever comes first. The council will come and give them 2 grand and a free house.
Yeah.
Why do they need to come and work with you?
Yeah,
They're
sure.
making more money staying at home.
Sure.
The whole system
Yeah.
it needs a lot of reformation because this is a beautiful country
Yes.
and has a lot of opportunities, and it is so annoying
Yes.
to see the country going downhill like this because it's going downhill.
It's called Great Britain for a reason. It was, but due to the current standards, I don't see any greatness.
Current management.
Yes.
Current management.
So
The current management is so bad.
so the greatness is not there anymore in Britain. But I seriously like. I like British history. I like how British people took over the world, and good businessmen at the end of the day, right? If I go, I find an opportunity, I grab that opportunity. That's how it works, right? And so, but compared to today, I don't see enough potential compared to.
Yes, because the management is not good enough.
Yeah.
The management, how many people are losing their houses? How many people are defaulting on the credit cards?
Yeah.
Defaulting on the loans because. Uh, Look, people now are getting credit cards to be able to pay for their groceries.
Yeah.
That is a disaster. And then how are they going to pay off for this? They will be hoping that they get a bonus at the end of the year. And wow, if they get sacked. And wow, if this happens, they'll be defaulting on the credit cards, defaulting on their losing their houses. They need better management need to take place.
Yeah.
It is just so clear. Better management. Otherwise, in a couple of years, me and you will be sitting together and we will say, oh shit. It went so bad that
You can see it.
that we don't have even enough business.
See, you can see it because when a crisis happens, you can see the initial phase from
Do you think
from
the
the
UK is
streets.
going into a recession or depression?
100%.
Or depression?
Both.
Depression.
See, recession equals
Because
to depression.
I think we are in a recession at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think we are going, and actually I think we are actually going into the depression.
Yes. It's
And
see
and don't get me wrong, okay? Because we can make money,
yeah.
okay? Honestly. But the whole point is you don't want to be making money when the rest of the country is not making money because it's so unfair.
Yes.
Okay, there's a lot of opportunities out there. If you have money, you can make more money. But you'll be making money by buying distressed properties, 30, 40, 50, 60% below market value. You know why? Because no one is able to buy. And then you'll be renting them. And you know why you can rent them? Because whoever will be renting them will have no job and will go and apply for universal credit
or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and then the government will be paying the rent. So there is opportunities to make money, but it is very unfair opportunities.
Yes.
It's
okay. Inhumane.
Exactly. Okay, this country was never like this.
Yes.
This country always if we stay like this, the middle class will disappear. Yeah, and this is the last thing. You don't want the middle class to disappear because the middle class is the growing and is the strong force in this country. Yeah. Middle class is who comes to my business and comes to your business, who goes out to the pub, who goes out to get drunk, who goes out, who buys the new iPhone, who buys this. This is the middle class. And if this middle class disappears, then we need to pack and leave, my friend.
It's something serious topic. People and they need to explore and they need to.
I think just the management need to change, and honestly, they need the chancellor and everyone, the treasury and everyone who is really in a position of power, need to sit down to see how they can refresh the economy, how they make it good, how they make it attractive for foreign investments to come back again. Foreign investments is the fuel. I was watching a video yesterday in Dubai. There is one of the most famous developers, Nakhil, that built Nakhil yesterday launched a new development in the Palm where the cheapest flat, the 2-bed flat, is over $2 million. There was a queue of 500 people want to put their interest. Wow. That they want to buy. And you know what? This is all foreign investments. These are
there was similar, right? Okay, this is something they just planned, right? And there's a project in New Delhi, right? And they just announced that they're gonna make something in 10 years. And 100% of their units were
Was
sold.
sold
Were sold before even it
before launch.
before the structure was placed. So right now they're told on this land we're gonna make 100 villas, right? And it was a project by Shoba Realty,
Shoba, yeah.
right? In Dubai,
In Dubai, yeah, the
yeah.
same developer, yeah.
Then the 30% is DLF,
Mhm.
DLF developers from India. Then there's another 20% stake from MR in
Mm.
Dubai, and there's a 10% some local developers, right? And 100% of that project has been sold already. People have given booking amount, deposit amount to
On
the.
the other hand, you know what's happening in central London?
Sorry.
Okay, prime properties in
Yes.
Knightsbridge and
Yes.
Mayfair
Yeah.
are dropping in value
Wow.
because who, let's be honest, entities buying these properties is foreign investment.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and foreign investors don't have a huge appetite now for the UK market.
Yes.
The something has to change.
Something
Something has to change. Otherwise,
100%.
honestly,
100%.
it will be so hard. And it's a beautiful country, and we don't want this to happen.
Yeah, see, I agree with you. I don't want this to happen either. But see, you're putting emphasis on management. I think which is 80% relates to that. But Kamal, just a management cannot change everything. There has to be coming from a general public as well. 20% of that initiative needs to come from people as well. They need to go and work.
Yes, but that's all management as well. Because if they make it a little bit harder to go and stay at home
Mm-hmm.
and get paid without working,
Mm-hmm.
then more people
Mm-hmm.
will have to go out
Mm-hmm.
and find a job.
True.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if they stay at home for 3 months without
Yeah.
having a job, you should not get paid for free.
Yeah, you
I
never.
understand some circumstances if you're a single mom or an elderly or have some
Accident.
disability,
Yes, yes,
100%.
100%.
But
Yeah.
but what is really annoying that a lot of people abuse the system,
Yes.
and nothing is worse than abuse the system. And you see that the money that me and you worked so hard
Mm.
for and we pay the taxes,
Mm-hmm.
instead of having a better country,
Mm-hmm.
is getting abused. This is
Yeah.
taxpayers'
Yeah.
money.
True. I agree. I agree.
So
It's, see
I
the.
I hope that next time we sit
Yeah.
together
Yeah.
for a podcast,
Yeah.
things have changed. I'll tell you, oh yeah, we have no good management, and you see this happening here, this happening there.
Next time we do in some exotic location.
Dubai, huh?
Yes. Next time we go, we
100%.
meet again in Dubai.
Or
And
we can come to our office in Riyadh.
yes,
You will love it. Riyadh is
lovely,
beautiful.
lovely, lovely. We can go to Riyadh, Dubai, anywhere. So
Yeah, so it is what it is.
it is what it is, Kamal.
Let's just focus together
Mm.
on decarbonizing
Yes,
the housing market.
yes,
At least let's do something good for the
100%,
environment.
and generate a good amount of economy as much as we can.
Yeah, just try to generate as much income as we
That's
can,
it.
help the supply chain,
That's it.
help subcontractors
That's it.
nationwide,
That's it.
make sure that we help and employ local businesses.
Yeah, and it's profitable for everyone.
Exactly, and everyone can make money and benefit from this.
Yes.
And at least at least let's try and do our part.
Yes, at least we can do our part. You're right. At least we can see. My father, he mentions to me always, right? Whatever is in your one hand distance, you only have control for that. If you don't have, let's say, I wanna get something done. If I have my phone, I'll call. That's in my control, right? But something outside my one hand distance,
It's very hard.
I'm not responsible for that.
And you're not in control.
I'm not in
Actually,
control.
this is a very wise
And I'm not in control. And you know what? It took me a lot of time
to understand.
to
this.
understand this and to practice this because I used to stress a lot.
100%.
And I think it really helped me in different ways. And yeah, this is the advice my father gave me. And I would say that's all I have to worry about, my one hand distance. That's it. So just whatever is in my one hand distance, that's it.
I cannot agree more. 100%.
Yes.
100%.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it was nice having you
It's been
into
a pleasure,
our
Kamal.
podcast.
Yes.
And 100%, we would love to invite you again.
Lovely.
Maybe
Thank
next
you for the
time we
invite.
can talk about how GRM is actually meeting their targets into fulfilling their obligations.
Yes, as
by
well as
decarbonizing.
as well as we can talk about what it has to be what we have achieved
hundred
together,
percent,
right?
100%, yeah,
And we
100%,
are in the process of that. So inshallah,
100%.
let's see.
Inshallah. All right, perfect. Thank you very much for joining us, and yeah,
Yes.
see you soon.
All right. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Kamal.